Hey guys, for today we're going to be doing a little bit of a loot run guide. Not really a loot gun run, but a loot run path guide. It's a path I usually take very often. And out of 10 times, I'd say out of 6 of those, I won't even see a PMC. And I'd say the others, I'll get into maybe 1 or 2 engagements. And here you'll see a quick little run through that I'm doing. I'm actually starting on my scav, but if you were to start on the far side of Big Red or any side of Big Red, this is where you usually go. You leave from Big Red and go this way. Now here can be a dangerous spot, but usually only at the beginning of the round does it really become dangerous. Most people only cross through here after they pass through Big Red or on spawn. So most of the time this is a very viable option, and if you stick to the left like you see me doing here, going right underneath the 2 big red pipes, this is where the first stash will be. The other is not very far. And here's our second stash over here, and once again we're going to be sticking onto the lower edge of the bank and then sneaking up through the hole in the wall. And like I said, this is another path that I usually take here, not spotted too often. And people aren't usually hanging around here too much, and if the sniper is looking from factory or from the bridge, he's usually looking up towards the RUAF roadblock. And I am on my scav on this one, so none of them are going to be attacking me. But it's around, I think, 28 minutes. You can usually tell what you're going to expect based on the time of the map. Usually around 30 minutes is where people are still very active and just transferring from the places that they finished, such as factory or dorms or gas. And here's another little dangerous area as well, but I like to transfer from one ditch to the other, so this way I'm only exposed really on the road, and when I'm in the ditch you really can't see me, and I have a lot of trees and branches to hide in the brush. As always, I always try to transfer through the bushes and then just jump across the road. And most times I'll stick by the road as much as I can. This is mainly, you won't see many people over here on the side. There's no holes on the right of the concrete. People usually up on Sniper Hill looking towards the car side wall or into dorms itself, and you'd be surprised how many times you can just sneak by over here without anybody attacking you. I've in the past walked through a squad of 3 and they did not even realize I was coming through here. This is another very dangerous area, but once again it's the road. I just like to leap across or move as quickly as I can across it, just exposing myself for the least amount of time. And once again I'll hug that bus station bunker. This will give me the advantage to look on both sides if I so choose to. But I also have cover and from both sides of the trees as well as the ditches to hide inside. And there's another stash here as well, right in the bushes. This one's a little more precarious, but if you hide yourself quickly, you shouldn't get spotted too bad. Now after leaving this stash, I'll kind of stick to the left side of the hill, but stay inside the trees as well to try to keep myself covered just a little bit, as much as I can. As I mentioned, I take this path very often. I've tried Customs is the map I've used the most, and out of all the routes I've taken through this really tight corridor of Customs, this is probably one of the best ways I've found that really works for me. Even though it looks a little exposed here, most people are on the far right by the train or on the far left by the wall near the campsite. As I mentioned earlier, depending on the time of the map, you can really go through all these stashes without even really being bothered by one NPC or even seeing a scav. Scav areas tend to be more in the center of the map, and as you stay to the extremities of the map where most of the stashes are, you won't really encounter any scavs. If you take your time and slow pace it, you should be able to get the jump on any NPC or PMC that comes your way. Now, in most cases, after I get this stash, I'll usually stick to the road and go all the way down. There are 2 other stashes that are a little farther up, but those I don't usually go for, as they can become very dangerous. This is usually mainly just to run with a pistol and a backpack. So I try to avoid as many confrontations as I can, but this is something that you can do if you feel a little more bold. But on most normal pistol runs that I do, I don't usually go for these stashes, but they're always there, very rarely taken. As you can see, this is a scav run that I'm doing, and I've scabbed in quite not too late, probably around 28 and 29, and every stash that I'm hitting still has stuff with chock filled with stuff. So it's very good place to make money, and especially with customs. So many stashes have random spawns that can come from it. You can get very good items and a lot of quest items at the same time. This is the path that I usually typically stick to right here, and as you can see on the right side of it, it's got an upward slope, and you can kind of just peek your head out and see if anybody's coming, and you really have a good vantage point. So if you hear anything, you can really get the jump on them, be able to survey the entire area without being in too much danger. Now I'll continue. Once you get on the outskirts, just going to all the little stashes that we see around. Now over here you'll see me ignore a lot of the this loot that you can get over here. Inside the container there's a nice bit of loot on top of the crate, as well as inside on the tool chest. There's the pouch over here, and or the bag, gym bag, as well as the crate on the back side. But I end up opting to go for the big nice stash in the corner over there, which is another little dangerous one. But I like to stick to the bushes over here and just slowly make my way up there. This is not something I typically go for. I like to stay as conservative as I can with a pistol and a bag. This one didn't turn out too bad. As you can see, I'm still going through the entire map, and I haven't even faced one opponent. So you can see this path that I use very often and with great results. Here we come through the hole in the wall. This is going to be the final little hoorah. You can go a little farther than I actually do. There's two little stashes, one in the corner and one by the red pipes. And you can even go into the factory and search all those dead bodies and everything. At this stage in the game, it will probably be really easy and very viable. This is the path I take. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll make another one. This one wasn't the greatest, but we'll get better. Thanks.